So here we go, the Amazon Fire TV Stick. Now, I don't want to divulge how long I've had this thing, but I've had it for quite some time. This thing has been on the market for about a year now, at least at the time of filming this video. Hopefully I get it posted as soon as possible. Now, I have an Amazon Fire TV, the first version. They have since come out with a 4K version. But this is the low-end version of the Amazon Fire TV. It's an Amazon Fire TV Stick, as the name suggests, and it's an HDMI dongle. And I think the first company that actually made one of these was Roku, and several other companies make them, of course. The Chromecast is another HDMI dongle. And obviously with the size on this, it's not going to compare to the processing power of a larger device such as the full Amazon Fire TV. But you still get the same interface and everything like that. So it's going to be interesting to see how this stacks up to the full version. I'm sure it's going to be very usable. Now, I'm a big fan of the Amazon Fire TV. It's my streamer of choice in my living room currently. That might change over time, but I've had it in my living room for probably about a year and a half now, and I'm extremely happy with it. You get a whole host of different apps that you can use on it, and you can see a representation of them here. Most notably, of course, you have Amazon Instant Video, Netflix, Hulu, Plex, Flickster, things of that nature. You also have Amazon Music as well. What's missing on this is iTunes and Google Play. And that stands to reason because the only way you're going to get iTunes content is if you buy an Apple TV. Now, Google Play is a different story because you can get Google Play on Android TV devices and the Roku. So if you're really tied to Google Play in addition to a lot of these other services, your best bet is a Roku. But let's take a look around the box here. It's a very compact box. You have your Amazon branding here. You have some information on the back. It's pretty simple and set up as far as the process goes. Just plug it into your HDMI port and you're good to go. It does say that you have a dual-core processor on this, dual-band Wi-Fi, and it does output 1080p. So let's get this thing out of the box. We have a little tab on the side here that I just have to pull, and there we go. Break the seal there, and we can push this out. So inside the little sleeve there for you completists out there, it's that nice orange color with the black. Now you have the black box here. You have black on black Fire TV Stick, that Amazon branding on the side, and on this side and up here as well. Otherwise it's just black. So let's open this thing up and take a look inside. Now you get that beautiful orange contrast with the black, and you see the two items in here are the remote control and the dongle itself. Very simple. Obviously you do not need an HDMI cord because this plugs straight into your HDMI port on the television set. So I'll pull it out of the plastic in a second, but let's just take a look at what's inside the box here. Here is the remote. Now this remote is a little bit different from the regular Amazon Fire TV remote. It doesn't have the mic built into this. Now you can get a version of this that does have the mic built into it. Honestly, I don't use the mic on my full Amazon Fire TV, so having the remote without the mic is just fine for me. Well, let's see what else is in the box here. You have some instructions here. Very basic, tells you what you get inside the box here. You have your power plug here. You get a USB cord here, and that's how you're going to power this. So in an ideal world, you could actually just plug this stick in and be done with it. But most HDMI ports don't offer power as well, so you're going to need a separate source of power, and that's where this comes in. You plug this into the back here, and then of course you plug the USB end into the plug here. So here's the wall plug, and I just removed the plastic from it, with the protective plastic when it ships, and you can see that it's made out of a matte black plastic on the top with glossy black Amazon branding on there. On the sides you do have that glossy black plastic, and you have the nice little prongs here. Of course, this is a United States power plug here. Now there is the full-size USB port on the back, and you plug the USB cord into it here. And there you go. Now typically I would prefer if the plug was on the back here, or if these prongs were here, because that's going to make it difficult depending on your power outlet or the power strip that you use. It's going to be potentially difficult to plug this thing in, because you could possibly take up more spaces than just one plug by the way this is engineered here. But we'll see how it works out in my setup. Now you do have an HDMI extender here, and that's good to have just in case you don't want this sticking out the back of your television set. Maybe it's obtrusive. If you do plug the extender in, then you have a little bit more leeway as far as how you want to place this thing. So you could either plug this straight into your TV or use this extender to make things a little bit easier depending on what your setup is. You do get two AAA batteries. Now the one thing I do like about this right out of the gate is that they're loose. They're not in the little packaging, so you don't have to open them up. And that is everything in the box here. So let's put this to the side and open up the remote and the Fire Stick itself. Now, just for reference, this is the voice remote. And we'll take a look at the differences right here. Obviously, the voice remote is a little bit larger, and it's shaped a little bit different. You have more of a rounded back to it, as you can see there, whereas this remote is a little bit more squared off. It doesn't have a nice premium feel to it, at least as premium as this does. This remote has a rubberized texture to it and has some weight to it. This one feels a lot lighter, and the rubberized texture is not there. Although it is a matte black plastic, you do have your Amazon branding down here, as you can see, and you still have the same wheel up top here. If I can get this plastic off, there we go. The selector wheel here is obviously the main way you're going to interface with the device. Down, up, this entire circle area clicks, so left and right, up and down. In the center you have your select button, you have a back button, a home button, a menu button, and then some play controls here. Rewind, play pause, and fast forward. Again, it is lacking the voice commands that you're going to find out of the voice remote by holding this down, and there's the microphone there. But again, I have never really used it other than just to try it out. I don't look things up on the Amazon Fire TV that way. And again, I've had it in active use for about 1.5 years now. So let me put the batteries in the back here. And just in case you care, they are branded Amazon Basics AAA batteries. So let's put them in here, and they actually go in the same direction, which is interesting. Most batteries alternate, these don't. And let's slide this back on here. There we go. Of course, as you would expect, it has more heft to it now that the batteries are in there, and probably comparable weight, I'd say, between the two. Yeah, pretty comparable in weight, even though it's a little bit smaller. So let's take a closer look at the remote here. The shape, as I showed you, is a little bit different than the voice remote. It's more trapezoidal. You've got more angular sides to it, as you can see there, as my cat has input on it as well. It is not a line of sight remote, which is good. It's probably a Bluetooth remote or some sort of wireless remote that doesn't require line of sight. And of course that's good because the device is a dongle, and most likely it's going to be behind your TV. Also, I just prefer remotes that don't require a line of sight. That way you can, point it anywhere you want and not have to worry about it not registering. And my cat is very interested in what's going on here. Now everything is a matte black plastic, of course, except for that Amazon branding there and the buttons. All the buttons are that glossy black plastic. Seems to fit fairly decent in the hand. It might not be as comfortable as the Amazon Voice remote, or at least at first glance it's not as comfortable, but it'll do the trick, and it's fairly substantial. Even though it doesn't feel as premium as the other remote, it doesn't feel cheap either. And what I mean by that is that the button presses are not, it doesn't feel like the remote's going to fall apart, and the remote doesn't feel like it flexes at all. There's a decent quality to it, although the other remote is a little bit more premium, or at least has a more premium feel to it. Now, just one thing to note: if you did end up buying the Amazon Fire Stick with this remote, and you do want to upgrade to the voice remote, you could actually, you could do that if you wanted to, but you could actually try using your smartphone or tablet to use voice commands on the Amazon Fire TV Stick. You just download the app, and you can actually use the voice commands from that app if you'd like. Again, like I said, I really never used it, so this remote is going to be just fine for me. Now, the stick itself is very simple looking. You have your Amazon branding here. The Amazon, of course, is glossy plastic. Everything else is a matte black plastic. You do have your USB port here for power. Originally, when I was unboxing this, I thought it was probably at the end, but it's not. It's at the base here, as you can see. On the back, you just have some FCC information, and everything else is just very plain on this stick. Of course, here is the HDMI part of it. Now, you're going to get less performance, like I said, than you would out of the full box. However, I would imagine that it's going to be very sufficient for what I'm going to be using it for. So that's the Amazon Fire TV Stick, and that's going to do it for this video. So as always, if you have any questions or comments, please post them down below. If you like what you see, please subscribe. And if you'd like to help out my channel, you can give me a thumbs up, you can favorite this video, you can share this video, you can leave me a tip on my YouTube page, or you can actually join my Patreon, all of which is greatly appreciated. So thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.